advice. Let me know what you think. Is it her clothing, hair or what else? Nice body. Kind of. I think he got lost heading toward B. It's the hair color, the Red Bull, the striped one piece. And the biggest thing is her facial expression. She looks miserable. A smile does wonders for people. How do you deal with being bitter and angry over people being rich when you live paycheck to paycheck? Focus on yourself. That is always a good suggestion. Things like social media provoke envy and other unhealthy emotions. So does 4chan, by the way. If those drive you to be angry, then stop going there for a while. Evaluate yourself and ask yourself what you want from life. Make a plan to achieve it. Then follow through. Don't evaluate your life in contrast to others. Evaluate your life according to your own terms. Try to aim for what you want and not for what others tell you should want. Sorry, I don't want to take from other people. I'm not a commie. Try getting in touch with those types of people and see if you can learn from them. I find most successful people love to help others achieve success as long as they see that you're putting in work and trying to help yourself. Depends on the person, of course. Also, becoming successful requires sacrifice. For example, if you are loving paycheck to paycheck, but you want to, let's say, take a course or go to school, you need to open the books and trim off as much as you can and make sacrifices to create an opportunity where going to school is doable. You may be getting by the skin of your bleep. But if that's what needs to be done, it needs to be done. Life isn't easy. Never mind trying to get to a place to make good money. There are a long history of successful people who had to sleep in their cars, eat ramen for every meal, shower at friends' houses, etc. Have bleep with their daughters SRS, no raping though. When you have no money you have lots of motivation. At least when you've got plenty of money it can be a struggle to find what to do next. It gets existential. Most of us can agree, though we aren't mad at the majority of individuals. It is the super rich who highlight the excesses of inequality. Don't play mind games the next time. What kind of game did I play? It's her who is playing this 8th grade tier push and pull bleep. Just ask her out bleep. You sound bleep. Why call him the R word twice? Just ignore her altogether. Find someone else. If you must, don't waste your time playing games. She probably found out you are a frog poster. Nothing turns off the ladies faster than LARPing as a bleep frog on the internet. I just signed into my new phone with Gmail. If I factory reset my old phone, will it mean I have lost my old email? Please respond, thank you. They don't know much about manual tech like can openers, rotary phones, or tools. But a Zoomer who doesn't know how to do something on a smartphone or via Google is rare. Can openers, rotary phones, or tools, how is this tech? Honestly, it was phenomenal. Also, I prefer the dubs version of Gohan's death, since words have meaning. Yeah. I also really like the Bardock movie special. Wish they turned it into a series of its own with Bardock as the main character. Would rather watch that than all the super bleep out now.
Did you know that subscribing on YouTube is free?
No.
Click the button below to never miss a video again. You can unfollow at any time. Come on. Subscribe today.
Be outside. Afraid to make eye contact with girls when walking around. Always look down or away or avert my eyes in some way. Can look females in the eyes when talking directly to them, but terrified of looking a girl in the eye when not speaking to her. Probably because if I'm not speaking to her, she knows I probably think she's hot. Terrified of a girl knowing I like looking at them. I'm 31 and have not once in my life ever flirted with a girl with my eyes. Never had an IRL GF. Only ever approached 3 girls IRL ever. And I failed every time. Who else knows this feel? I'm cowardly as bleep when it comes to looking girls in the eye. It's scarier to me to look a pretty girl in the eye than it is to look a Mexican, black gang member in the eye and say, "What's up?" At least I can just ask the Mexican guy if he has any meth or cocaine and have a okay chance of getting some. I am terrified of girls and get filled with panic. How does one fix this? I don't even know what mental illness I even have. My psychiatric record is so bleep from me going to doctors when high on drugs and lying to them. Who knows anymore? Most I do is look at a girl's bleep or legs or bleep when she's not looking at me. With dark sunglasses on. Terrified of looking a girl in the eye. Toughen up, princess. Sometimes it literally hurts. No, it literally doesn't. Looking girls in the eye is hard. Start wearing sunglasses. I am average looking, but I like it when I make eye contact with guys on the street. Even if it means nothing. Start looking up and on. 6 feet 230 pounds. Pick is me. 365 pounds bench. 450 pounds squat. 8/10 face. 22y. Oh. But no quart Asian GF. What do I have to do? I was told that getting ripped would have women falling all over me. But all I've attracted are white BBWs and old white ladies. I just want a quart Asian GF. Because you're a boring and bland dickhead. No more. I was told that getting ripped would have women falling all over me. And you're not ripped. Start cutting, nigger faggot. You know the rules. Under 1.5 cal a day. Bleep, you pageets have such inflated egos. Just being buff won't get you a GF, get a personality. Am I Zoomer or Millennial? Am I a 90s kid? You're late millennial. Pretty much if you had the cognitive development to remember 9/11 when it happened. I think the cutoff point is like 1995 or something for Gen Z. But the number hardly matters when it's what you grew up with that matters. Maybe you didn't get into games until your late teens. Then you experienced early Zoomer stuff then and whatnot. It's very subjective. You would know the best for me. Being born in 1998. I had a lot of hand-me-downs from my brother born in 90. So I would consider myself a Zoomer but grew up with a lot of millennial games like Pokemon Gold. And listened to those old Harry Potter audio tapes. For me, being born in 1998, I had a lot of hand-me-downs from my brother born in 90. Yeah, I was born 94, so what's that make me? Apparently a late millennial. Just googled it. Gen Z starts at 97 actually. I've been on 4chan too long. I went from red pilled to black pilled and it's basically crawled into every crevasse of my mind. I can't watch TV without going into a rage every time I see a interracial couple commercial, forced diversity commercial. Every mention of the corona rules bleep me off and sends me ranting about how we're losing our rights and gladly giving them up for safety. I blame the kikes and feel miserable every time I see a bleep or mixed couple. I'm convinced deep down that the vax has some malevolent purpose despite not being able to find any proof of such. And I tried. And I'm so paranoid around groups of NOGs that I'm constantly on edge thinking they're out to get Whitey and will bleep with me given the opportunity. I couldn't even calm down surrounded by all my friends in a bar downtown because of that paranoia. Always looking around me for threats that I know aren't there. For bleep's sake, they were just other guys out enjoying a night out. And I constantly eyeballed them like they were about to kill me. I know I'm delusional here. I know that the stuff I believe, while arguably based in some truths, is greatly exaggerated. But I'm drowning and I don't know how to live like this. All the self-improvement and personal gains I've managed might distract me from this, but these thoughts never leave me anymore. Please help me. Any advice at all? I'm sorta mind-blown by how you acknowledge that you know it's bleep. And you know it's making you miserable. But you still do not want to let it go. What do you think thinking this way is doing for you? In your favor? That you still hang on to it? Not op. But I would argue that you can rarely take people's happiness at face value anymore. Most people are kind of directionless and just going through the motions, albeit at a high enough momentum to keep themselves from worrying about whether what they're doing is healthy or not. To use an example, if someone has to continuously smoke crack non-stop in order to function and be happy, I would argue that they are inherently non-functional. I mean, at some point I realized that my life was just working. Then going out and drinking with friends. We would laugh and joke. But eventually it became apparent to me that it wasn't real connection. It was just us wasting time together using alcohol. I mean, how our cultures in general have become a series of trends. And we are all just living these trends. And there's no authenticity in that. You know what I mean? Get therapy. You sound like you have paranoid schizophrenia. Thread. Another perspective op is that you are more future-oriented in thinking. And that your reactions to these things are you recognizing the first domino in a series of dominoes leading to a bad conclusion. Most people do not recognize problems until they are affected directly. I personally have the belief that nothing should be left to be assumed, as it should be dealt with by its worst-case scenario. I have a step-niece who has started cutting and is indulging herself in gender pronoun ideals. She is not doing well, and is too young to be dealing with what she is dealing with. Everybody just sits around and comments on it but does nothing. I told them, she is going to kill herself one day. They said there's no way I could possibly know that. I told them to treat the situation like they know it will happen. Otherwise run the risk of it happening and having to live with the fact that you did nothing. They thought I was being too negative in my thinking. But I'm not. I'm just not afraid to anticipate the darkest realities of what the world can provide. When you can take action at the first sign of a potential problem, no matter how small, then we can all relax. But most people today are not interested enough to entertain or recognize potential problems you are. And the fact that everyone is having a good time while you are noticing a growing crack in their foundation is stressing you out. Just my opinion. Trust me. I am open to having my mindset changed so I can also be happier. But no one ever attempts to persuade me outside of just a general inarticulate disagreement.
Did you know that subscribing to a channel on YouTube is free? Click the button below to never miss a video again. You can unfollow at any time. Come on. Subscribe today.
What would be the first things to install, modify after resetting a PC completely on Win 10? Will do, thanks. Install Gentoo. For me it's 7-zip, Firefox, Directory Opus, CMDER, QBitTorrent, Soulseek, AutoHotkey, Python and other work stuff. Everything. Foobar 2K, Veracrypt. These are the only one I can remember from the two of my head right now. What would be the first things to install, modify after resetting a PC completely on Win 10? Use. Modify your startup programs. Hide all icons on the desktop. Modify your taskbar. Pick a nice background. Also I install BlueStacks to emulate Android devices and AFK bot farm older games. I've had bleep with multiple women and hookers and yet I'm starting to feel like an incel again. Me too, anon. I've bleeped plenty of women but can't get a GF since high school. Dubs say true. Content says LARP. Yes. Exhibit A.